Welcome to your of course, transit forecast report. This is the Peace Dealer, and I hope you gain the utmost of quality from this report. Knowing that your rising is in Libra, without making this too much of a natal chart report, because you did get the transit forecast, we do want to honor your Saturn return. You are technically one of the very first of the new generation. So what we do know is that this is after Pluto retrograded back into Scorpio. So all of you technically are the bridge generation that leads into the official new gen when Saturn goes into Aries. So I want to make a special documentary about you guys, the 95 year. You guys are one of the most important years in human existence. That is a bit hyperbolic. That's a little bit of hyperbole because of recency bias. And I just feel like anything 1990s is just the pinnacle of humanity. I really feel like we peaked in the 90s. And yeah, that's bias on my part, but I don't really mind. I like that bias. So I just want to go ahead and extend that and just say you're legit, my friend. And you, once again, like you guys represent the creation of the new world. It begins with, of course, the leaders of the new school, Aries, Saturn and Aries, Taurus, Gemini. It ends with Saturn, Virgo, where Pluto goes into Capricorn. But it technically starts with the end of Saturn, Pisces. You guys are the bridge of transitioning into this new world order of Aries, whereas the end of Pluto, Sag is the bridge out of Saturn, Virgo, in that perspective that officially starts Saturn, Pluto, Cap with Saturn, Libra. So I want to do a special video kind of speaking of that, especially you guys are coming of age. That's the most important thing that's occurred. When Saturn is 18 degrees Aries, like 2027, you will have now manifested the first part of this return. Your Saturn return, which is holding accountable the collective to its behavior. You live a disciplined lifestyle of your dreams. The whole arc of this Saturn return and the North Node that's unlocking all of the integrity you have worked since March of 2023 when Saturn was squaring your Pluto at 0 degrees. You have now officially unlocked with the North Node over the next few months. I did a Saturn return before this. This belief system. Okay, you see the North Node here, March, that we had the eclipse and the conjunction with Saturn, activated the unlocking of your belief systems with Saturn in alignment with your return, so that over the next 30 years, you can literally create this world of your dream life. But also, this is going to represent the work ethic and discipline. Square your Sagittarian ascended portal, right? This represents the ascended attitude, the supernatural quality of passion and mindset that goes into how you create your mindset, but then the belief systems that buckle down this mindset and create a routine. All right. How you imagine your lifestyle integrates the vision of your mindset. I have Jupiter in the third. We have golden attitudes. It's a really amazing Jupiter position in its dignity, because you're like that, Alliyah, okay, on Mars. The most athletic people I know, which I'm going to replicate the Mars experiment, which has been done in history, and we're going to update it. It's going to be so awesome and amazing and fun. They all have fire Mars. Like I know a basketball player in the NBA right now who has a Mars and Sag. You guys are the most athletic. I have Mars and Aries. I ran track and field. Mars and Leo as well. Is it limited to fire Mars? Absolutely not. But like LeBron James has his Mars in Pisces, which is also very sus because that's supernatural. I can't. Mars in Pisces is kind of supernatural to me. But yes, the fire signs athletic. So whether you're involved in athletes in anything athletic or not, it represents a wanderlust of your action attached to your heart. Not being able to separate love and sex, but really merge the two. And that's important to speak on because of the Saturn square. Because of the integrity of how you take this unstable wild energy, wild perspective, because this is actually magic. This is chaos magic. Scorpio is pure energy. This is magic. So you have this attitude of golden attitude of chaos magic. And how do you buckle down, control that chaos, and create the life of your dreams? Clearly, you're a gangster, Alliyah. I don't throw the gangster label out there. You were chosen by destiny. North Node, you're an instrument of classic healing, social healing of a social personality. All right. Now, unlike myself, where my sun and rising is in the first four signs of individuality, and then my moon is a universal soul, you're all social. You're super. If you ever watch The Boys by Amazon, the mechanic of what a super is, like a super person, that's what you are, my friend. You can fool other people, but you can't fool me. You got the second house Scorpio. You got the sauce, Alliyah. I'm not gassing you up here. This is science. You have Scorpio. Scorpio is the sauce. You have the sauce. And unlike other Libra risings, you are like, no, I gotta be aware of this sauce. I gotta, this is my spirit. So at will, you have the ability at will to manifest and produce wisdom. You got the sauce. And now the ruler of the sauce factory here is just about a jump skip away from your spirit. So it's not too far away that you have to outsource it. It's basically right there. So you're a sauce master. You are what I like to call a sauce master. As an activist, you are an artist. My youngest sister is a Libra rising. She's the most talented person I know. She just has a Cancer sun. She was born 94. And she's an artist. She even though she may be like in medicine right now, y'all are artists at heart, period. Like, you're activists. You have Kendrick Lamar has this rising. The way you guys organize people and direct people, you represent this social personality of balance and altruism. And you were chosen by destiny to really unlock healing socially. So you have a social soul, analytical Virgo moon that is troubled with its square to Pluto, and the extreme intensity with which you apply this analysis to awaken the quality of your vision can clash a lot with your soul. You may not really align with the extreme reactivity to how you want to take action if it goes against what you analyze. But sometimes this vision is going to say, hey, we don't need to plug in numbers, fam. We need to act before we analyze. And that works sometimes. Sometimes you have to be like, no, we need the details this time. We need the details this time. Okay, because Sag will take too much chances. And boom. That's why Sag is lucky, by the way, because they take 100 chances, whereas someone just took 4. And out of that 100 chances, they won like 17. They're going to look lucky as hell. But they didn't tell you how they lost 86 tries. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are still lucky. I don't care. Even though that's the Sag excuse. Like, y'all always say, oh, I just took more chances. You guys are also lucky. You guys are also lucky. Let's just nip that in the bud. Y'all be trying to downplay your luck. And it's like, no, fortune smiles on you guys. So a little bit of both is true. And this square is a nasty square. But I'm not going to take a fatalistic interpretation. It's one of the best aspects you have in your chart because of that challenge. All right. So just something to keep in mind. You have a social, analytical, mastered soul. You have an activist, balanced, artistic, social personality. And then you got the sauce. You got the sauce. Okay, you got a social, pure spirit that is close enough to be a God construct, but I'm not going to include that. You know what? I'm going to include that because why not? So you do have the Pluto power here. It is within 10 degrees. So technically, it would count that you have this. I do highly recommend you read this article. You can awaken others. You can understand the true nature of death, sex, and rebirth, perform psychic surgery. You basically have X-ray vision. You could just see through how fake people, you could see through how pure people are. And you can see into their greatness. Now, I wanted to spend the first 10 minutes just kind of letting you know what your chart is like. You got Uranus and Neptune in the 4th. You're very psychic, right? This alone is not enough to just say you're very psychic. It's going to really talk more about the nature of your psychic ability connected with your sauce. So you can literally mind control people like it's Wi-Fi remotely. A lot of people don't know that you can send suggestions to their own body to puppet string their... Okay, I'm saying too much. That being said, we've established you have the sauce. Uranus is trining your Uranus. As you can see, we're going to have the conjunction with the sun and Uranus 27 degrees, trying, you guessed it, your Uranus at 27 degrees. Now, this is something I experienced with an 8-degree Uranus like 3 years ago when Uranus was like just entering Taurus. And when that happened, I started manifesting subscription-based platform services, and my money started to automate. Am I a rich multimillionaire? Well, I practice the law of assumption. So I'm going to say, yeah, I'm rich, I'm super multimillionaire. But like, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying this to say that it may take some time to develop. For you at the mastery 27 degrees, you're going to experience it instantly, especially because it's opposite your second house of the sauce, your money. This is your own wealth you manifest. Second housers like you and me, we bosses. We bosses. You feel me? Like we guess money. You feel me? Like I have mine in Gemini. That's why you paid me, Alliyah, because I am manifesting my second house Gemini enlightenment. I'm giving you an enlightened perspective of the stars right here. That's my value. You have a super version of this. You have a higher version of this. You manifest wisdom, the sauce, psychoanalytical awareness. When it comes time to peer into the skin of other people, you have X-ray vision. You can communicate it with Mercury. So this Uranus opposition is a huge deal. The Jupiter conjunction that we had last year is a fulfillment of 2018, with which you manifested this expansion of the sauce. So this is where you expanded the sauce factory. You built some more facilities. I love these analogies. They're so fun. And it put you in a position to realistically now by Taurus season with this opposition, fully step more into the harvest of who you're investing this in. What's a good analogy for that? This is your gas. This is your liquid. This is your oil. Through Aquarius of technology, right? When a certain dictator kicked out all the engineers, they weren't able to work with their oil because they didn't know how to really, convert the petroleum to sellable gas. So you didn't make that mistake. And now with Uranus in Taurus, you innovated the gas stations in the 8th house. You're investing your oil into individual gas stations that now that this is opposite, you finished doing that. And now you're coming into returns every year. The oil you gave to these gas stations, Taurus, the monetization of natural consumption of this distilled, uncut, pure crack cocaine that we're just going to call oil here because you got the sauce. Now, through the 8th house, what happens? People buy the gas. The gas station gives you dividends from the oil you produce. That's why I say you a boss. You a boss. This is straight wisdom. And you're coming into the innovation of how unconventionally you come into unexpected windfalls of income because a lot of people bought gas with gas shortages and you getting money. This is your value here. I want you to get excited because it's that big of a deal. Okay. So compared to this year, which is the aftermath, why this is significant with the opposition is not only is it going to trine Uranus, it's going to oppose your sun. And this is going to bring a very unconventional sense of now this pipeline of wealth that coming back around in a Scorpio season will return on the investments, which is the significance of not only Taurus season, but we're going to talk about how the next 6 months, we're going to initialize the new and full moon in Scorpio to really make you aware of the natural grounded investments you're taking your sauce and investing into individuals. We're going to use gas stations as an example, how you're going to go through Gemini, transform your boundaries and the philosophy around who you trust, and how this is going to lead to the major lesson of this year. What is the major lesson of this year? Obviously, by the summertime, we are going to have Jupiter in Cancer. What does Jupiter in Cancer square Saturn in Aries represent? Well, we know that back, in fact, I don't normally just show this, but let's go back. We know that back in 2017, okay, you had Jupiter go through your rising. Boom. As you can see, 13 degrees. I didn't even plan it like that. Boom. June of 2017, Jupiter initialized a brand new 12-year cycle. By 2018, it activated your sun. And you went through that sun cycle, which now Taurus harvested last year, the opposition of, and Aries 2023 coming into 2023 harvested, of course, your Libra rising. So when Jupiter was in Aries, this is what represented the evolution of your partnerships 6 years after evolving you. Your identity, your value, the sauce, your attitude, which is ascended, your foundation, your celestial talents, the divine lifestyle, all of that evolved so that you could apply it towards others. So that led into 3 years of harvest, Jupiter through Aries, Jupiter through Taurus, and now the final part of this harvest, which is expanding the true meaning opposite your Jupiter return 2019, that's taking the evolution of your attitude, integrated the evolution of what more you believe you can accomplish, and how through integrating your beliefs around your routine, how these ascended visions around your attitude align with the true meaning of your philosophy, the thoughts that align with this vision. That's what this opposition as of current is actually doing. Okay. So as you can see, it's gone from Libra in 2017 to Gemini, 21 degrees, opposite your 19 degrees. This is a 180-degree opposition that's harvesting the Jupiter return, but also finalizing the harvest of your rising. By the time it comes into Cancer season, which we have known is going to happen, of course, coming into Cancer season, this is going to prepare for the completion of what you started 2017 in a rising sign sense. So you activated up until Cancer 2020, up until 2023, you integrated 2023, coming into mid 2026, you are harvesting. And then of course, 2025 coming into 2026, 2027, 2028, you are completing. Why is this important, Alliyah? Because, well, you're completing a cycle of evolution. Jupiter going through your 10th house is going to actively evolve your career. It's going to evolve what more you feel you can accomplish. It's going to expand opportunities for more wealth, because now all of the activations in your 10th of Cancer, expanding what your legacy is going to trickle this liquidity every Scorpio season down into more wealth for you. And that's everything to be excited about because you worked for it. So I need you to go back to June of 2017 and ask yourself, what were you doing? What did that look like? You're completing it. Okay. Beautiful. Saturn and Neptune coming out the 6th, because as it enters, the square is going to be in the 9th house portion to the 6th. So it's applying this changing in the application of your dream life to take action to apply that behavior with integrity towards other people. Eventually, Neptune and Saturn coming into next year and in the year after that will be in your 7th house while you're having a Chiron opposition, which is also harvesting this healing authentically relative to the social healing you have. All right. The North Node in Aries that was opposite your North Node, unlocking what more you can do with partnerships with other people, is going to now be in construction. Saturn going through your 7th over the next couple of years is going to prepare you for marriage, business partnerships, divorce, if you're married, and if you're getting ready to, if you can't renew the contract with your current partner. For you, I think it's going to be marriage, business partnerships, raising the standards of your partnerships. You're going to feel that while it's in the 6th house portion. And the challenge is to maintain the integrity of this behavior with the budding evolution of your philosophy, applying this true meaning of the thoughts that align with your vision into what you feel will evolve your career. All right. The mind, the philosophy around what success you feel like is for you, that's going to shift Jupiter in your 10th to Saturn in your 7th. And it's going to make sure that the integrity you hold others accountable for relative to this manifestation of your dream life applied with integrity to how your relationships align with this disciplined lifestyle, right? Because you live a disciplined life. So people who you're connecting with who aren't as disciplined, Saturn's going to weed away, even if you like them. So the integrity of your partnerships has to align with this evolution of your career, something that will make sense coming into next year as we will see Jupiter shift more into that 7th house. Okay. So I would say as of now, Taurus is going to really activate and harvest, and then with the full moon in Scorpio, harvest the transformation of the quality of your investments, the natural grounded of who you're sharing your wisdom with. Gemini season is going to transform your awareness of who you trust and what philosophical approach aligns with the disciplining of your dream life. The eclipse we had in March is here to change your entire life because you unlocked your dream life. Gemini season is going to be the checkpoint to make sure that the true meaning of your philosophical approach applies your lifestyle. Because by the time we come into Virgo season, we're going to close out on this eclipse and harvest what we started in March. Everything with Saturn, you believed during this return, you're meant to live in your dream life. And it looks like your Saturn return could be like coaching, lifestyle coaching, life coaching, even if it's through exercise, even if it's with business casual personnel, like you're going to really help people shape their system of beliefs so that they can live their dream life. By the time, of course, you're working it yourself, so you can show people, look, I live my dream life. This is, of course, your sun making you aware of the higher philosophy of the value of your sauce that goes into this. The Virgo aspect is going to analyze how 6 months from March you were able to create your dream life, how it's real, and what unconscious habits you analyze you no longer need to align with these beliefs. All right. So an attitude becomes a behavior. A behavior forms your philosophy. Your philosophy influences your beliefs. Your beliefs that you release align with your attitude that become your lifestyle. And that's the circle. Boom, 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 boom. Understanding astrology like this simplifies so much and you're able to see it real time. Okay, so this Gemini is going to be the checkpoint between Pisces and Virgo. That's next season. It's going to revisit all of the evolution through Taurus, Uranus conjuncting in the 8th, and you seeing the true meaning of now what you're communicating to align the philosophical element in nature of this dream Pisces 6th house lifestyle, dream life, total system of belief Saturn that you have locked down. Okay, the way you live your life is like a divine gangster. Okay, divine because of Pisces, gangster because of Saturn. And this really just speaks to the disciplined nature of your life that matches with the golden attitude of your wanderlust that enables you to explore the universe, all right, the world. This is a universal sign here, and that's a universal sign, which lets this integrity of authority you hold others accountable to at a universal collective level. It means anybody can get it. Okay, so after Gemini season, revisiting this, splash, we begin to expand Cancer. You begin to now set the goals that you will evolve in your career so that by the time you come back around to Cancer season next year, 2026, you are aware of how much you've leveled up your legacy. Last time you did something like this was 2013. But what do we know about 2013? You didn't have your Saturn return yet. Saturn had just left your rising, and you started to really add more authority and discipline over your activist social personality that you were destined to. Now, since then, you're getting ready to harvest Saturn. All that integrity of work, like the evolution, you expanded and buckled down on yourself, you're applying to other people, hence raising the standards to match your level of authority. Okay. Once we step into now Leo season is going to not only revisit this conjunction we had in Aquarius, which for you is impacting this foundation, this knowledgeable foundation that impacts your creativity, but the Mars opposition we have here is having you stand up for the actions you're taking socially ahead of time before it goes into Virgo and analyzes the strength, applies the strength towards an analysis of how you're releasing old habits. Right now, once the actions you're taking ahead of time socially, the sun gets here, you're going to be aware of this awakening you're going to do every year over the next 20 years. It will harvest at this point in your 10th house in Leo, which will now take this supernatural strength, perform it boldly, and reevaluate with Mercury retrograde how you are aware of the success you're coming into, and marked by the 11th, who you are achieving it with. Okay, who do you enjoy this success with? What kind of boldness carries forth the quality of this success? 10th house to your Scorpio sun as well, which is going to make you aware of, how much more boldly you come into this. But this opposition, huge deal, especially with Uranus is going to get ready to go into Gemini and innovate all this. This is definitely going to bring in the New World Order. So that's what makes summer quite exciting, especially as we step into now Virgo. And now look, by the time we're at the eclipse, closing out what we started in your 12th and activated in your sixth house, Jupiter will officially be on your MC. So that's what, before it retrogrades at like 24 degrees, this is what's going to officially splash in the stability trining Saturn, the North Node in Pisces that's also going to unlock your Saturn. Everything is aligned towards your victory. Like, this level of timing has me side-eyeing you, Alliyah, because ain't no way this is timed that perfectly. Like, that's a little suspect. Like, I figured you were cold, but I didn't know you were that cold. Like, that's crazy, especially with the eclipse in Virgo. That's going to make you aware of how you have imagineered your dream life. This is going to now unlock all of the beliefs, analytical beliefs you need to release or align with these beliefs to finish this engineering right as you begin to evolve your legacy. It's such a good look. It's such a good look. And of course, by the time we now transcend this and we apply this to your activist personality in Libra, this is going to be you embodying now this retrograde of karma back into your sixth to revisit, okay, what tweaks do I have to put into this reimagining of my lifestyle so that I can prepare to apply that in relationships with others? Uranus coming back into Taurus is just going to kind of aspect Pluto that you have in Sagittarius, making for more unconventional windfall of income in that second house space that you don't see coming, but maybe could prepare for. And it's going to embody your personality relative to how you're moving forward with these dynamic shifts. So that by the time we come back to return on these investments, we're manifesting the source. Okay, Saturn and Neptune's ready to go direct. Pluto is direct. It's never going to go back into Capricorn. Uranus is going to touch Taurus a little bit, touch grass. It's going to touch grass in Taurus. Then it's going to go back into Gemini, where it's just going to, Geminis like us are going to be saying the craziest stuff. When I say like us, I mean like me talking this here with you. But Mars is going to be over your sun, and this is just going to return on investment. Everything that now in Taurus you are transforming the value of relative to who you naturally trust, you're going to return on the sauce, my friend. And you're going to really manifest a lot of money. The liquidity coming in from the 10th is going to give you the first sense of idea of what that's going to look like, what kind of new money this is coming in now that you've completed this cycle. Okay, so that is in a nutshell the next 6 months ahead. Please keep me posted 3 months from now, and then keep me posted later after what that looks like, because you're a very important facet of this next generational push. And you will have some sort of relationship with this new world order with Saturn, tying in your relationship dynamics with people and the authority you'll have to hold others accountable to. Other than that, you stay blessed as always. Looking forward to your feedback.